Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. I'm Balboabtw. In this video, I have you guys the tier list for locked. This one will be for every single trait and every single weapon. I'll be ranking them. I will try to do it as best as possible to like accommodate for certain builds, not just do it overall, because I know some of them are like really bad if you're a striker, but some of them are really good if you're a defender. So yeah, I'll try to keep that in mind when I'm making this tier list. First, I'll be doing the weapons, then I'll go inside the traits. If you guys end up enjoying the video, like, subscribe to my channel. My current goal is 10,000 subscribers. But yeah, let's get right into it. Alright, so starting off with the D tier, I will be personally putting Repel here. This is just because I haven't really heard anyone talk about it. Now, I don't know if it's dead or not because really nobody uses this. But once again, I haven't heard anybody talk about it. Same with Long Blades. I think I heard it like once, but you know, nobody really uses either of these. They could be useful, but just because the lack of playtime I actually see, like, I see pretty much every single other weapon on here at least like once or twice when I play throughout the day. But these two I've just never seen. Now in C tier, the first one that I'll be putting here is going to be Leader. Now Leader is decent because it does buff your entire team, but it really does nothing for you. It could be good in scrims if it actually works like scrims and buffs literally everyone on the team. That could be a little bit broken. But yeah, for your individual self, because you know we're not including like team play in this tier list because that would make some a lot better. For individual self, this one's just not a good one. If you are doing scrims or something like that, it could maybe go inside B tier, but even then, it's still not that good because all that it does is I think it gives you a little bit more stamina and then buffs your speed and maybe shot power. I know for sure that it buffs shot power. The next thing in C, I'm going to be personally putting Copycat. This is because I don't even know what the actual cooldown is. Some people say it's 60 seconds, but the Trello says it's 180 seconds. If it's 60 seconds, then I could put it in B tier. But right now, the cooldown is just simply not worth it. Plus, you can only copy like one ability and then you're on cooldown. If it's only 60 seconds, that's not bad because let's say you copy Formless all the time and it's on 60 seconds or Emperor every minute. Will obviously make it a lot better, so that could even make it go A tier. But yeah, right now, because I don't know the current cooldown, I'm just going to say C tier, but it could go higher. And once again, this tier list is my personal opinion, so, you know, a lot of this I haven't even used or seen myself. But Copycat, I would say if it had the 60-second cooldown that a lot of people were telling me that it had, it definitely could go higher. But the Trello does say 180, that's why it's going to be going in C tier. The first one in B tier, I'm going to be personally putting IQ. Now, IQ is very, very good. Don't get me wrong. It basically makes you like a second GK. Which is really good for scrims, but in autos, it's like nobody should ever use IQ for autos. But for scrims, it is pretty good because you can basically have a second GK. Pretty much what it does is makes you use GK skills as a normal like defender. It's just obviously like a nerf version, but it is still a very, very good one. And I know a lot of people use it in scrims. It could go higher, but I'm going to be personally putting it in B tier because in autos, it receives almost 0 play. The next one is going to be Direct Shot. Now, Direct Shot is pretty good. I was watching a few people play with it. It is actually pretty decent, but I would just say it's definitely like the worst shot option that you have if you're trying to be a striker. The next one's going to be Acrobatic. Now, I really haven't heard anything about this. You know, some people say it's half decent. Some people say that it's not. So that's why I'm just going to be putting it in B tier. I believe that it's for GK. And even then, I don't think that is the best GK skill. So yeah, that's why I'm going to be personally putting it here. Now the next one will be Neurotic. Now Neurotic is pretty good because once when you get, I believe your ankle's broken, you get like a huge speed buff for a few seconds. It is very good, but I wouldn't like, use it because you're basically trying to get ankle broken to actually activate this, and that's just not what you want inside a game. And then the next one will be Snatch. Now I believe Snatch is also for GK. It gives you like a 50% buff, which is very good for GK, but once again, not hard. Like there's only 2 GKs per match, and a lot of time in autos they don't even have a GK, they just use the AI one, so that's what it's gonna be doing here. If you do plan on being a GK, I would say Snatch might be your best option, but that one I don't completely know. So now getting inside the A tier, this is ones that I would recommend just to keep. Now all of these, honestly, if you get them, I would recommend just to kind of like insta spin off. But these next ones are the ones that I recommend to keep. And the first one is going to be Shadow. Now, Shadow is very good. Let me find it. Yeah, Shadow is very good. I believe it gives you a sprint buff. It's basically just a nerf version of Shigiri, I believe. But it is good because I believe its peak speed is faster than Shigiri. It's just kind of, you know, less versatile than Shigiri because obviously it lasts a lot shorter. But it is very good. I have seen a lot of people use it. The next one I'm going to be personally putting here is going to be Peen. Now, the reason why I say this is because scrims, it's terrible. Like, you barely go anywhere in scrims. Now, autos, it is very good for cheesing the duel and all that. But even then, you know, it's still pretty easy to counter because all it does is really take you up field. If there's a defender there, you still have to break them. It is a good skill, don't get me wrong, but once again, in scrims, it's just simply not good. Now, above that, I'll be putting Nagi. Now, Nagi is very good for certain builds and really bad for certain builds. If you do have the certain build that it's very good with, it is good. You can just catch the ball, pretty much annoy people, kick it to your teammates very easily. It is a very good skill. I haven't seen it used in scrims very much. I think it's more of an autos one, but I don't personally know because at least the scrim that I played, nobody was using it. But yeah. Now, the next one that I'll be putting might surprise some of you guys, but I'll be personally putting Emperor. Now, the reason for this is it says the cooldown is just outrageous. I think it's like 2 minutes or something. So in an autos match, you can only use it, I believe, twice or 3 times per match. And you'll be lucky to use it 3 times per match. Most of the time, you'll only get it off twice per match. And then a scrim, let's say you're doing 10-minute halves, you'll be able to use it like, what, 4 times per half? That's just not very good at all. So that's why I'm going to be personally putting Emperor that low into A tier. Now, I know a lot of people put it in S tier, but for me personally, the cooldown just does not justify for what this skill actually is. Now, the next one that I'll be putting right above it is going to be Iron Head. Now, I know a lot of builds do use Iron Head, but you do have to be a taller build. Like, if you're a short build, I don't think Iron Head is very good. It is still a very good one because you can, obviously, your headers are going to be insane. But other than that, it really doesn't do much for you. It is a very good skill, though, and it is pretty broken because, you know, your headers will be crazy. Now, while I was watching other tier lists, a lot of people put this one very low, which was crazy to me, and that's going to be this one. I don't know how to say the name, so I'm not even going to try to butcher it, but it is, like, the best defender skill in the game, and I don't know why people aren't putting it in their top 5, because if you're a defender, this is, like, the skill you want. Pair this with, I believe it's Surf, and you have, like, one of the best builds in the game. So yeah, I don't know why people put it so low. Pretty much all that it does is once when you get ankle broken, I think it's ankle broken, you get up almost like instantly, and you can just go back to defending. I know that doesn't sound that crazy, but it is actually very good in scrims, normal matches. Pretty much it's just a very good skill if you plan on being a defender. This is basically the go-to defender skill. Now, the next one that I'll be personally putting here, these two can kind of go hand in hand. It's going to be Shigiri and Formless. The reason I put these two hand in hand is because, honestly, I think Shigiri is more useful. The reason for this is Formless is kind of like Emperor, where it has a very long cooldown, but I believe it's just better. It is harder to use, but if you do get at it, it is going to be better than Emperor. I believe it has a shorter cooldown as well, like slightly. And the Shigiri is just super fast. If you're trying to go a speed build, it's the best thing that you could go. And I would honestly say that it is going to be better than Formless. Now, the 2 in S tier, one is pretty predictable with Riptide, and then the other one is going to be Kunigami. This one is just because Kunigami is basically Riptide, but it shoots straight. Like, that's basically what it is. You perfectly charge up a shot all the way up. It does a super powerful shot. It's basically just a better version of Emperor, in my opinion. Obviously, the power's less, but you can use it, like, I believe it's once every 20 seconds. Same with Riptide now. After the nerf, you can use it once every 20 seconds. Both of those are definitely going to be the go-to for strikers, at least in my opinion. And Kunigami and Riptide are also very good for midfielders, since they can pass very easily. But this is going to be the weapons tier list. You guys can leave your thoughts inside the comments down below. And then real quick, we'll go through the traits tier list. Because this one is way more simple to understand, because honestly, a lot of it is going to be in D tier. But yeah, in D tier, obviously we have Dwarf, Tired, Weak, and Lazy. These ones I literally think nerf you, so obviously you don't want those. The next ones I'll be putting in here is going to be Powerhouse and Heavy. All these do is increase your shot power, which is literally what your weapon is for. If you want increased shot power, just go Riptide or Kunigami. There's no reason to go any of these. And then the rest of D tier is going to be Tireless, because there's no reason to have more stamina. Literally just hold V and then you'll get more stamina. There's no reason to get a whole trait for it. Unbreakable, I don't even think it does anything, to be honest. I've never heard someone say they use Unbreakable. And then Fortune. Fortune could be good if you really need money, because it does give you slightly more money, but once again, more money is not needed. The next one here is going to be Tank. Let me check the Trello, because I don't even know what this one does, to be honest. All I know is that it's not great. Tank gives you a better hitbox in all areas. So yeah, I mean, it's usable, but it's not good. The next one here is going to be Ripper. Now, honestly, I forgot what Ripper does too, to be honest, but I know that it's better than Tank. Ripper right here, you guys can see, if you ankle break someone, they are ragdolled for 3 seconds longer, which is pretty decent. I would say that it's a usable skill, but I wouldn't go around like telling everybody to spin for it. The next one's gonna be Clamps, which is good for defender, but it's not the best. for defender, at least out of the traits. It is still pretty good though. I believe it's kind of like tank. It just increases your hitbox, I think, or it gives you a better M2 range, which is pretty good for defender. The next one here might surprise some of you guys, but it's gonna be Metavision. Now, I ran Metavision for a while, and I could honestly say that it could be A tier, but the timing of when it stuns you is like always terrible. I don't know if it's just me, but every single time my Metavision runs out and I get stunned and I have no stamina, it's like either right when I'm about to store a goal or right when I'm about to defend someone. It happens every single time, and it's very annoying because then you just stunned on the ground for like 2 or 3 seconds, then you have to recharge all your stamina. You're basically out of the game for like 6 seconds just for using the skill. Now, when it's activated, it is good. You can't get ankle broken. I think that's all it does. It increases your hitbox. Can't get ankle broken and increases your hitbox. That's pretty decent. It's good for defending. It's good for midfielder. I wouldn't use it as a striker. But I just wish that it did something different, because Metavision in the manga is like completely different. It does not really, well, it helps you on defense, but it's more of a striker ability, and they really didn't make it like that. And then the next thing in A tier is going to be launch rates. Launch rates increases your speed. This is a very versatile thing. You're going to want to be faster no matter what. If you're tall, small, especially if you're small, you want to be faster. This with Shigiri is very good. Now the next thing is going to be Surf. Now this was another one kind of like that one weapon. Very underplayed for defenders. It makes you slide farther, which is very good. It's actually surprisingly very good, because I played a scrim yesterday and like all their defenders had this, and yeah, we lost for sure, because Surf is very good. It actually increases your sliding range a lot. Like, I was surprised how far those people are sliding. It's very good for defender, and I think it's actually decent for GChat. I think someone said that's decent for GChat. The next one might surprise some people, and that's gonna be Egoist. It's all right. Actually, no, I lied. Golden Zone, I honestly forgot that this was an ability. This can go like here. It's not good. I would say Metavision is better than Golden Zone. The only way Golden Zone is good is if you're GTA. I honestly forgot that this was a trait, so that's my fault. But yeah, Egoist is good if you need flow, and if you have like a 15% speed flow, it's very good. But once again, like, you're only gonna get flow if you're a striker, or a really good defender and somehow block a bunch of shots. It doesn't really buff you in any way. All it does is gives you flow faster, which personally I would much rather be stronger in my base than stronger in my flow, or get my flow faster. So that's why it's going to be going top of A tier and not S tier. Then these two last ones are very predictable. Athlete and bunnies, not much has to be said about these. They're just broken. Like, this is what you should be going for if you're going for a trait. I would say athlete is a little bit more versatile than bunnies, because bunnies is for very specific builds. But yeah, this is pretty much going to be the tier list for me. Now, I know I didn't rank diver on the weapon one. Don't know what the hell that is. Then there's another one called no look. I believe there's some missing in here. No look, I would put like B tier. Basically anything that isn't on this tier list. Well, they missed it because it wasn't inside. It was inside the last update or something. But no look, just, it's all right if you use Riptide. That's basically it. But yeah, that's gonna be the tier list for both sides. Let me know down your thoughts on the tier list in the comments. I believe I did it to the best of my abilities. I looked through a bunch of other tier list comments and things like that to see what you guys were thinking and went through the Discord. But once again, you guys can leave your own thoughts inside the comments down below of how you would rank everything and what you guys thought about some of my rankings. The only thing that I would probably change for sure is going to be Copycat if it did have a shorter cooldown. I don't know the cooldown though. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, like, subscribe to the channel. My current goal is 10,000 subscribers. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.